Howdy, this is Crazy Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contested Champions. Today I cover round 1 results for the Annihilus and Agent Venom arenas and jump into some round 2 predictions. So first, the round 1 results. So Annihilus came in a little bit lower than the typical new champ, coming in at 34 million, but then again for the 5-star feature arena anyway. But then again, this was in the same ballpark with Captain Marvel, who in my opinion is probably a little bit better champ than Annihilus. Annihilus has some decent utility. I was able to pick them up on my new free-to-play account in the intermediate bracket, and I'll cover those results here in a few minutes. But seems pretty decent. But right now I'm kind of favoring Captain Marvel, the new Captain Marvel, over Annihilus, but still have to do some more Annihilus gameplay. But long story short, anyway, kind of was in that Captain Marvel kind of ballpark for the 5-star feature arena. But jumping over to the 4-star feature arena at 8.3 million, that was actually a couple million lower than Captain Marvel for the 4-star. She came in right around 10 million. And then jumping over to Agent Venom, the 4-star basic champ, you can see that's kind of the standard now. It's around 1.65, 1.57, you know, anywhere around 1.6 million. That's typically where we see these old champs, even if they're kind of decent like Agent Venom. So nothing new with that one for the veterans bracket anyway, and these results are for the veterans bracket. So compared to my round 1 predictions, as you heard me explain through the actual results, no big shocker here. My predictions were actually higher and off of 10%, more between 10 and 20%, so these definitely were off the mark. But then no big surprise with Agent Venom, that was right on the mark as usual with that, within that 5% kind of range. So no big shockers with that one for sure. So looking at this and looking at some past trends, well, let's actually take a look at some past trends for similar arenas, starting first with the 5-star feature arena. You can see Symbiote Supreme, the champ, Night Thrasher here, the champion I should say, and Night Thrasher. If they were in that 40 million, they'd always have a jump in the second round. Saw the same thing. There weren't too many 30 million champs. Now, like I said, Captain Marvel, and she did jump into that 40, kind of 45 range kind of thing. So that 10 million, that 5 to 10 million jump, that's kind of like what you typically see for a new champ in the second round when it's kind of on the lower end for the 5-star feature arena. So you can expect that here. And then we jump over to the 4-star feature arena for new champs. You can see we were going along for a while with Night Thrasher and Thing, that we were having a jump between round 1 and round 2. But then more recently with Mr. Sinister, now looking at Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, the second round is lower than the first round. So that seems to be a consistent theme now. Maybe that has something to do with Kabam kind of limiting the viability or life, I would say, not viability, but you know how long you can play a 4-star in the game now, with already starting to exclude them from Max 6. So maybe until that's corrected, if it's ever corrected, we'll see that that slight decline. It's almost like the 3-star, you know, in the past, the new 3-star arena, where you would see in the first round everybody would want to get a copy, but then not worry about trying to dupe them or try to get them in the second round, so that those numbers would drop. Maybe we're beginning to see that now with the 4-star feature arena. But anyway, jumping over to the 4-star basic, typically from the first round to second, the second round is slightly bigger, but we're not talking tremendous numbers, maybe 100,000, 200,000, that kind of thing. And then with the 3-star feature, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago, the first round is always higher than the second round. So considering these trends, and they're pretty consistent trends of late, well, here are my thoughts for the round 2 predictions for the veterans bracket, meaning your account's been open for over 60 days. I think we're looking at 44 million for the second round cutoff for Annihilus. I think we're looking at 13 million for that top 10 shard tier. Jumping over to the 4-star feature arena, I think we're looking at 9.5 million for the cutoff for Annihilus, and then for the 4-star basic, 1.7 million, and you should be able to get Agent Venom, or I should say that's around the cutoff. And then Annihilus 3-star feature, we're looking at 1.2 million. And again, with these cutoff predictions, this is not an exact science. I try to land within 5 to 10% of the actual. So keeping that in mind, I always like to kind of give a grind target just in case these cutoffs actually trend up and a little bit higher than expected. So 48 million should be able to bag that 5-star feature Annihilus, 10.5 million for the 4-star feature Annihilus, and then 1.9 million for the Agent Venom, and then 1.3 million for the 3-star feature Annihilus. And just one quick thing here, you'll notice that I actually have the numbers to be a little bit higher for the 4-star feature Annihilus, even though, you know, I was saying Mr. Sinister, Captain Marvel, and Nick Fury, all of those dipped a bit in the second round. Just keep in mind, though, those first round numbers were 10 million plus. So you're dealing with 10 million, then you're going down to 9 to 8 million. Since Annihilus was already 8 million. That's why I think we'll have a slight increase to be at par or even with those second rounds from Mr. Sinister, Nick Fury, and Captain Marvel. So that's why, just if you were wondering, hey, he's actually showing his 4-star feature numbers higher in the second round. That was my thinking there, is that it's not necessarily always going to be a decline, but maybe now there'll be a kind of a common bar of 9 million, where most of the time for 4-star feature, especially in the first round, we see them 10 million. So it's usually 10 million, 11 million in the first round, then that drop down to 9 million, 8 million in the second round. So anyway, just so if people were wondering why the increase for that 4-star feature. Anyway, that's my thinking on that one. And then here again are the grind targets. These are for the veterans bracket. So as a few minutes ago I mentioned, I am in the intermediate bracket with my free-to-play account, and here are the results. I didn't grind too hard this time, just make sure I focused on the Annihilus 4-star feature. Went over 1 million. As you can see, I ranked 125. They give out 200 of these, so a little bit above the middle ground here. So I'm thinking 900,000. You'll probably be safe, 950 for sure. And I might actually play around a little bit to see what 950 gets me this time around. What's really nice, especially with the new account, is really that 800 5-star shards as well. And then you can see with the 4-star basic arena, I grinded out 207,000, and was able to get me in that 26% tier, ranked at 1348, and which gives me a nice little 250 4-star shards and 100 5-star shards. So 207. So my guess is probably 450, 500,000 will land you the champ, similar to what I saw in the beginner bracket. And even for the 4-star feature, these are similar numbers that I saw in the beginner's bracket. It seems to carry over into the intermediate bracket, but this is my first time around. We'll learn more the second round. So anyway, considering all of these, here are my updated beginner bracket and intermediate bracket numbers. I think 3-star feature, what I learned over the last month was 245,000 for the 3-star feature. 4-star basic, you're looking around 500,000. For the 4-star feature, 900,000. For the intermediate bracket, I haven't done anything on the 3-star feature side, so I'm going to keep those numbers the same, around 500, 525,000. 4-star basic, I'm going to say 600,000 now. I have a hunch it's going to be closer to 500,000. If I get a chance to actually grind out that arena a bit higher, I'll prove that theory out. But that's my hunch right now. And then for the 4-star feature, as you can see from my results, I ended up right in the middle, or a little bit higher than the middle, with 1 million scores. So I'm thinking 900,000 should be a bit closer to the actual cutoff. But again, these are just after one run through the intermediate bracket, so definitely need to get a couple samples from this to see if these numbers hold. So anyway, these are my thoughts for the second round of the Annihilus and Agent Venom arenas. Would love to hear your thoughts, or if you have any questions, throw them on down in the comment section. We can discuss them there. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, I'd really appreciate a subscribe. And if you like this video, would really appreciate clicking that like button. So thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.